Hello there, and welcome back to Szpakowo. So it's November, and let's take a look to see what we have to get done this month. I believe all the harvesting for the season has been done, but let's take a quick look at contracts just to see if anything has come in that we might be able to do. Doesn't look like it. There's a relatively small corn contract over there, which, looking at the distance I'm going to have to travel to deliver the product, I'm definitely not going to do that. Cotton, carrots, cotton. Yeah, there's nothing else in there in terms of harvesting contracts I want to do. We could do this liming contract over on field number 13. It is a massive field. However, that would be fairly lucrative for us. I think I'm going to take that. So that'll be something that we can get done to earn ourselves some money. And then we could start preparing our own fields for next season. So if we look at our own fields here, we're going to need to put some lime on this field, and we don't need to cultivate it because we have a direct drill, but I'm wondering if we should anyway. This field we don't need to cultivate, but I'm wondering if we might be able to. We can definitely spread some lime on it, and I'm wondering if cultivating it or maybe even mulching it would maybe get us a little more yield. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll lime this field. We'll go over this field with lime as well. We won't cultivate this field, but that will keep us busy for a little while. Let's quickly check our production because I'm pretty sure... Oh, I would have thought we would have been out of long grain rice by now, but we're not. So how much do we have in terms of products? So we've got almost 2,000 litres of rice bags and over 1,000 litres of rice rolls. So let's take a look actually at the prices for those products. So rice bag and rice rolls. So we scroll down, can't scroll down for some reason. Let's just jump out of the menu and back in again. It usually fixes that issue. So rice bags, they are 2647. So we could offload those over at Spactrans. And then rice rolls, 2708. They've got a good price next month, although it's only 80 euros. So we could also take those over to Spactrans. So what I'll do is we'll do all of the field work that we need to do, and then we will have as much of the product as we're going to get. We can switch off the production and then sell that product. Okay, so let's grab our tractor, and we'll need to switch out our trailer for the spreader, and we'll go via the vehicle store and we'll take care of that big liming contract, and then we'll jump into our own fields and do some field work. So I will get some of that done and I'll rejoin you in a bit. So that is the large field lined for our neighbour, and our own soybean field lined and taken care of. Let's just jump in. We'll pick up this. What am I doing? Why am I? Yeah, we'll pick up this. We're going to have to pick it up anyway because it's a full bag, so we may as well just pick it up on the pallet fork. So let's switch off the tractor for a second. Let's take a look at our field info. So the pH value is perfect. Nitrogen, saying perfect right now, but we will have to wait and see what crop we plant in here next season to see whether it's actually perfect or not. So let's jump into our menus and we'll collect the contract. It's a nice 15,000 right there. Let's see if anything else has come in that we can take care of. Got a fertilizing contract over in field 58. We could do that. And we'll quickly go through here. Soybeans. Over in field 11, do we want to do that? Has anything else come in that we want to do? We have a corn contract, we've already looked at that, we don't want to do it. Yeah, nothing else in terms of contract. So let's go and take care of the lime in our other field. So once we do build our farm in this big field, we're going to have two entrances. We're going to have one right here, and then we're going to have the one on the tree-lined road. So it's going to be absolutely delightful. And we could even buy this plot of land that we're looking at right here. Let's just jump into the build menu for a second. So our farm's going to be here, this big plot here. We could even buy this plot here and have a bunch of custom sell points on it. So all of the mods I've downloaded as productions, we could add the sell points for it here and have like a little shopping area. The plan is coming together. I wonder if it will be realised. We will see. Let's go over this wheat field with lime, and I don't expect it will take much because it's almost at its... Oops. Well, at least the lime landed the right way up. I don't think our own field will take too much lime because it was limed before the last harvest, so it's not going to be like an initial lime application. But let's take a look to see how much it does take. So we'll put the width back up. So let's take a look to see what it does take. Yeah, it's a tiny amount, but we may as well keep it topped up. Yeah, it's not even spreading lime at all on some of the fields, so... And that's our own field taken care of. Now, if we just jump out of our tractor for a second, let's take a look at what weeds we have in the field. What do we have here? I mean, the weeds are dead, so yeah, there's no... The weeds are dead. It says that it needs rolling, but we can't roll it until we've planted it. So that can wait until planting time. Let's go grab the rest of that lime out of the bag just to keep it tidy. And then we'll take a look at the productions just to see if the extra bag of that production has been produced. And we can sell that and also the bales. What do we have in terms of product? So rice rolls, we've got 1405, and then rice bag we have 2109. So let's go to the productions, and what do we have left? We have 1,000 litres left, so I don't think we're going to get any more product out of this because the rice rolls is 60 for 30, so 600 for 300, that'll be 1706. So what I'm going to do is actually stop the production on both of these, and then I'll set them to storing. So now what we'll do is we'll reconfigure our trailer to be a bale trailer, and that means we'll be able to load the pallets onto it, and then we'll get those pallets sold off. And then we'll come back, we'll switch out our pallet fork for the bale spike, and we'll get the straw sold off. And then it might be a good time to skip through to December and see what there is left to do there. Okay, so here we are at Spactrans. And we're just about to sell the product that we've produced so far from our rice field. So we had 8,500 litres, and let's see what we will get for it. So we'll undo that, we sold it off, so 8,000 euros. Let's think about this, because if we had built the grain mill and added the rice flour to that, how much would we have gotten? If we look at the price of flour, so is it under rice flour? Rice flour, that would have been 1753, and I think we would have gotten about 8 bags of that, so that would have been much more valuable. That is kind of frustrating, because we would have gotten, it was 15 I think for 13. You put in 15 long grain rice and you get 13 rice flour. We would have made around 12 or 13,000. I wonder if we should ditch the processed food production for a grain mill next year. We will see, because yeah, that rice, the rice bag and the rice flour doesn't seem to be working out for us in terms of ratios. I feel like the grain mill would be more profitable, and that's really what we need right now, is profit. Because also next year, once we harvest the wheat in our field, only a little bit of it is needed for the VIP order, and so the rest of it can also be used in the grain mill. So I think I might sell it. I think I might sell the preserved food factory when we get back to the farm. Although, having said that, we could keep the preserved food factory because it can take a lot more inputs, and we could just build the grain mill next year when we harvest those fields. I think that might be a better play, because we don't know what's going to come up in terms of VIP orders, and so having the preserved food factory as well as the grain mill might be beneficial, because the preserved food factory can take so many inputs. So yeah, we will stick with that. Once we've done this, I think we might do a little bit of landscaping around the yard. There's some edges there that I want to smooth out. Wondering if we should replace the gravel at this point, or whether we should just save the money. I think we'll just save the money, considering we're going to be moving our farm to that big field. Okay, so that's 2 of the bales sold off, and then the other 4. So yeah, 1,700, 850, 2,500 roughly, and we're up to 41,000. So let's head back over to the farm. I'll take a quick check of contracts just to see if anything new has come in, but if it hasn't, we'll skip through to December and see what we can do next month. Okay, so let's take a quick look to see if anything else has come in harvesting wise. We have a soybean contract over there, red beet, green bean, sugar beets. Yeah, it's still nothing in terms of contracts. A small liming contract, I'm not going to do that. Some mowing contracts, they're not really worth doing. Yep, there really isn't much to do. No cultivating. Yeah, nothing to do. So I think we'll skip through to December, and I'll see you there. Okay, so it is December, and there's not really much to do on our fields, considering we can direct drill the crop into both of them. So we do have a couple of cultivating contracts that we could do for our neighbours, 154 and 187. So where are they on the map? 154, 187 is just down the road there, so we could do that. 154 is over here. So we could do both of those. That will get us 4,300. Yeah, other than that, there's really not much to do. So I think we'll probably take these 2 contracts, knock them out quickly, and then maybe we'll skip through to January. So I will pass you over to the capabilities of a time lapse of music, and I'll be back with you once we're complete. Okay, so we're almost done with these 2 cultivation contracts. Just going to... Oh, there we go. I was about to say we're just going to do the rest of this last row, but the contract has shown up complete. So we can head back to the farm, and I'm going to go via the fuel station, just to top up our tractor with fuel. And then we'll take a look, see if any other contracts have come in. In fact, we can do that now. Let's take a look at any additional contracts. We'll collect these 2. It's another 4,500. Has anything else come in that we can take care of? Probably not at this point in the day, I would have thought. Yeah, there's really not much. So I think we'll skip through to January and see what we can take care of there. Okay, so I skipped all the way through to March because there wasn't really anything to do in January, February. I didn't see the point in just coming back to you to tell you I was skipping through another month. So here we are in March, and let's take a look to see what we can do in terms of contracts. Nothing yet in contracts has come up, but we can plant our own field with wheat. So we will take care of that and then the fertilizing. Actually, thinking about this, we want sunflowers in this field, don't we? Yeah. We're going to put sunflowers in this field this time around because that will help us towards our VIP order, because the wheat is the next level of VIP order. And this is the problem we had before, isn't it? We can't do sunflowers because we don't have a planter. Okay, I remember where we were with this now. So we're going to have to go and buy a planter. So I remember when we checked in the store before, the only planters were really expensive. But I did download from ModHub some slightly cheaper planters that had a narrower working width. I say some, I think it was just this one actually. Soybeans. Oh, soybeans oh, that's interesting. Soybeans are planter as well. So we're going to buy this. It's a small scale planter. Yeah, we'll pick this up and we'll head over to the shop and collect it. Okay, so we're back at the farm with our planter. Let's get the sunflowers selected and we'll get them planted in this field, and then we can continue from there. Now we need to see where the edge of the field is, so I wonder if we can do that by turning on the steering assist. Yeah, we can. A little way to wangle our way out of not being able to see anything. I think we want this one first of all, is that right? Yeah, that's the row we want first of all. But only a 3 meter working width on this planter, so not much at all. Let's see how we go. So of course the drill is a direct drill, but the planter is not direct drill, so we need to cultivate our field first of all. So let's take care of that. We'll drop off the planter, we'll pick up our cultivator, and cultivating will help because we'll actually be able to see our field once we've cultivated it. It won't be covered in snow anymore, so let's do that. So I'll get this done, I'll cultivate and I'll get the planting taken care of, and I will rejoin you once we are complete. Okay, so we have planted sunflowers in this field. We're just doing the final row now, and this took considerably longer than I expected because the working width of this planter is quite small. So yeah, it took way longer than I thought. And what I'm going to check, so it looks like I'm going to check the fertilizing and just the field state. So I was skipping rows when I was planting just because it was easier than doing tight turns everywhere. And looking at the field state, it looks like most of the field has good nitrogen levels now. But let's take a quick look in the menus and see what's happening here, because there are still certain areas that are missing. So if we look at the precision farming, not the pH level, the nitrogen level. So yeah, there are still areas missing. Looks like most of the patch that didn't take nitrogen last time, this patch in the top here, that's taken nitrogen now mostly, so that's all okay. Let's quickly take a look at the growth just to make sure we've covered all of the field and we haven't missed anything. That's good. So with that, I think what we can do, let's take another quick look now. Do we need to roll this field? We do. So I think the next thing we're going to do is see if we can get a reasonably priced roller to start rolling our fields. I know it's only this field that needs rolling, so if we get a relatively cheap 5-6 meter roller or something like that. No rollers in the discount store, so let's take a look in the regular store. So what do we have here? We have this for 10,000, 3 meter working width, and then we have 6.3 meters, 7.6 meters. So I think we'll go with the 6.3. We don't have a big field to roll, and I think this will do us just fine for now. So let's pick this up. We'll go over to the store and collect it, and then we'll come back and roll this field. Okay, so that is this field rolled, and I'm not actually sure if rolling has any benefits with precision farming enabled, but it might give like a 5% bonus. So 5% is better than no percent. Now, where are we going to put our roller? We have quite the collection of tools at this point. We're going to need to expand our storage at some point, but I'm not going to do it anytime soon because we're trying to save up for that bigger field. So what I will do is just back it in here. There we go. That'll do. So we'll switch off the tractor, and I think we will skip through to April and take a look at drawing out and planting our rice field. I'll see you there. Okay, so it's April and I can hear the rain. I was going to say I can't see it, but I can just about see it. It must be just about to stop. So let's take a look at our sunflower field first of all and see what condition it's in. Oh, so we don't have any weeds in here. That's nice. Yeah, no weeds in the sunflower field. So that's growing. So for this month, let's take a look at setting up our rice field over here. Now I think I want to have the whole field as a rice field. I think that makes the most sense. So what I'm going to do is, just because creating fields in this game can be a little bit inconvenient and frustrating at times, I'm going to save the game. Now the field isn't quite level, which is going to pose a problem because we're going to have the same issues we had with the other field, in that it's going to create a big ridge. But let's see how it looks. So if we go to cultivation, rice field, and where should we start it? We'll start it over here in the corner on this piece, and then hopefully we want to start it on the highest point, don't we? Because that's where it will level it out to. Now, is that going to cause problems accessing it with the tractor? I think it is. So, if anything, then we should start the field here, so at least we can access it with the tractor. I think that makes the most sense. So let's just cancel that, and we'll select it again, and we'll start it here. Let's see if this works. Okay, how does that look? That actually doesn't look too bad. We've kind of destroyed the land around here a little bit, or we haven't destroyed it, we've just made a little bit of a ridge. And then if we go over to here, yeah, there's kind of a ridge here, but at least we can access the field via the track in our tractor. So yeah, this is our new rice field, and we are a little bit in debt, so we need to make up some of that money. So to make up the money, let's first of all take a look at contracts just to see if there's anything we can take care of. What do we have? We have a fertilizing contract over there. This looks appealing. I think we're going to have to take this contract. So yeah, that will be a nice 20,000 euros. That will be perfect to get our balance back up. So we have enough lime? What do we have in there? We have 1,500 litres. That's not going to be enough to do the whole field, and that's all we have. So what we're going to have to do is this small fertilizing contract to get us a little bit of money. Then we can lime the field and get ourselves a lot more money. Then we can plant the seeds in our rice field. We'll take this fertilizing contract, and then we'll also take this lime contract. Now, whereabouts on our farm are these two contracts? Okay, so they're both fairly close to us. So fertilizing is over here. We'll go take care of that first. Now, how do we get to there? Down there. Oh yeah, I've been to this field before. All right, so into our tractor then. And we will grab our spreader, switch out the lime for fertilizer, and we'll get fertilizing. Okay, so I got over to the store, collected the contract, and realized I still don't have enough money for additional lime. So I have come back over here because I know I have a little bit of corn and a little bit of sunflowers that I should be able to sell. Well, not the sunflowers actually. A little bit of corn to sell, and maybe even some soybeans. Let's take a look at prices. Can we sell our soybeans? Will we get a good price for it? I don't remember what the good month for soybeans is. Let's take a look. Soybeans is a June crop. Its current price is a lot lower than the maximum amount. So what else do we have? We have some corn here. We could offload the corn. We'll get 2,000 for it. It's going all the way over to Szpakowo, which isn't ideal. I don't really want to take it all the way across the map, but at this point we don't really have a choice. So let's get our trailer reconfigured and we will head over there. So I've decided on taking the corn to Henrik's SP, which is next to the shop. We'll get about 70 or 80 euros less for it, but it will save us a lot of time driving across the map. So that's my decision. That's what we're going to do. Should get us up to a balance of around 2,000, and then we can fill up with fuel, pick up some more lime, and complete the lime contract that we have taken. I did also notice when I looked in contracts there was another lime contract in a very large field, so I might entertain that as well, just because they don't take long to complete and they're very profitable. So that is something I can also consider. What I think I might do once I've offloaded this is actually leave the trailer at the store. Then I don't have to take it all the way back to the farm and then come back all the way to the store. We can collect the trailer at another time. We don't really need it right now. Okay, so let's fill up with diesel. We need at least 14.50 for 3 bags of lime. As long as we have that, we're all good. Yeah, we're all good for there. And then we'll pick up 3 bags of lime. We'll switch out our trailer for the spreader, and then we'll go and get this. We'll go and get these contracts taken care of. So we are almost done with this large liming contract. We're not going to do that other liming contract for this month. We will leave it in the list, and maybe we'll take care of it next month or something once we've taken care of our own field. Let's jump into contracts quickly and just take a look at when the contract expires. So liming here, 12232, it expires in 12 hours, so it does need to be done this month. Yeah, I'd rather take care of our own field. So let's take this, we'll collect this. So now at least we have some money again, 20,000 euros. And let's take care of the rice field. So we'll swap our spreader for our seeder, and then we'll head over there. Need to avoid driving on the road with this seeder as much as possible because it doesn't play nice with any other vehicles because it's quite wide. So what's the best way to get over there? I wonder if I can I come down here? We'll see. I know the left turning is just after this little house, so hopefully I can avoid oncoming vehicles. Can I get there? Can I get there? Yeah, I can. If I dive across here like this, I can. There we go. We just about made it. Didn't we? Did we make it? No, I actually don't know now. No, we didn't. We made the wrong turning. We panicked and dived off of the road too early. But that's okay. Maybe we can drive through the river here. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. There we go. We got there in the end. Wasn't in the best way, but we made it. Alright, let's get this field planted and put it on steering assist. We'll do 5.2 meters, 2 headlands. And we will lower the seeder and get started. I'll get this complete and I will join you after. Okay, so that is our rice field planted and rolled. I didn't realise rice fields needed rolling because the last field that we planted rice in, it didn't need rolling. So interesting that this one did need rolling. I checked it after we planted it just to make sure, and yeah, turns out that it needed rolling. So the other field must have been an anomaly of some kind. Anyway, that's our rice field completed and planted. And I think this is a great place to leave this episode. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying following along. If you are, of course, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more farming simulator fun. And until the next episode, bye for now.